welcome back to Business Owners Speak. Today, I'm thrilled to have with us Carl Barnowski with Assurance Claims Services. Carl, how are you today?
I am doing fantastic, Matt. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good. Yeah, thanks for being here. Like I do with all of our guests, if you could, let's start off with tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Yes, sir. Well, I actually started in business right out of the gate out of college. I started an investment firm, an independent retirement planning firm way back when, that I sold after 30 years and transitioned into the public adjusting world over the last 10 years. So that's where I'm at today.
Not a typical transition, really. So tell us how that kind of came about.
Well, I had an offer to sell my firm, and at the same time, I was just not feeling it for that industry anymore. I really was either going to retire full on or, look for something else to do. And I had some offers from some companies to go to work, and that kind of scared me because I never worked for a company before. So that didn't work out so well. And I actually grew up in the construction business, spent 30 years in the insurance arena, and the public adjusting seemed just like a natural fit. I understood the construction side of things, and I also understood the insurance side of things. And it's something that I could do independently. So that's why I went down that path.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Utilizing past experience to kind of benefit for a new business. That makes a lot of sense.
Correct.
So walk us through your world a little bit. What does a public adjuster do? Why do we need them? Who needs them? Who doesn't like them?
Yeah. Well, public adjusters are really the advocate for either a homeowner or a commercial property owner who sustains some type of damage. The claims business is kind of a scary world because most people have never done it before. A lot of people have purchased multiple cars, so they kind of get a feel of how to do that. Well, in the claims world, the odds of you having a loss in your home is pretty slim, truthfully, unless it's an older house, but or a hurricane. But in general, people have not been through the claims process. So when they come downstairs and they've got 2 inches of water in their living room, it's panic. It's scary. And everybody and their brother is offering them information on how to deal with it. And my job, in essence, is to bring clarity to them as the homeowner, meaning what's the process? What can you expect? And rest assured, I handle everything for you. You don't have to do anything. So you don't have to take phone calls. You don't have to do any inspections. You don't have to do anything. On the other side, the insurance company, you got to know the language to talk to these folks and to negotiate and to, a big part of this is understanding construction, and having those conversations on the behalf of the homeowner offers, if nothing else, just a big sense of relief because they don't have to deal with it, so, and that's attractive to me. I like doing that.
And in terms of claims, what are some of the more common damage claims you see?
Yeah, it really falls into two categories. One is storm related, which is the obvious, flood and hurricane. We've had both on the West Coast as well as down in the Fort Lauderdale area with the recent flooding. Dealing with FEMA specifically, there's a whole nother set of rules when you talk about FEMA flood claims, and that's something that we're an expert in. And then there's what I would say is the run of the mill, hot water heater letting go. There's a fair amount of communities down here in South Florida that are in that 20 to 30 year age range where they've used, for instance, polybutylene plumbing. The age of that plumbing system is about 20 to 30 years. So you'll find entire neighborhoods with plumbing letting go like crazy, and it's all the same problem, just different households. So those are probably the most typical. And then, of course, mold.
And of course, mold, yes. So someone has damage. They get your number somehow from one of your millions of referrals, I'm sure, from previous work done. And start to finish, you handle everything. You do all the communication, etc.
Yeah. I'll give you an example. This past Saturday, I got a call from a gal about 1 o'clock in the afternoon right here in Royal Palm Beach. She came down. She had several inches of water. She had the ice line overnight that fed her refrigerator came loose and basically flooded the entire house while she was sleeping. She didn't call the insurance company. She called me. She was actually exposed to the videos that I shoot and post on TikTok. That's how she found me. But within 30 minutes, I was on site. Within the next 30 minutes, I was in touch with her insurance company. Within another hour, I had a mitigation company there doing dry out and a plumber on site to fix the problem. She had to do nothing. I documented and 3D scanned the entire property and walked her through the process. But that's basically the front end of the claim is right there. And the biggie when it comes to filing a claim is documentation. So many people, when they have a problem like that, their natural inclination is to clean up, dry it out. So by the time I get there, there's no water. And she did the right thing. She not only called me, but she also took video and photos and,
Right.
I said, please tell me you have photos before you, oh yeah, I got it. So
The ice line on a fridge.
it was the
That is,
water that fed
that's right.
the ice maker in the refrigerator. Yeah.
That's going to make you not sleep very well at night. No,
I know.
I'm going to go
I
check
see a
tonight.
lot of it. I see a lot of it.
What do you find? And I think that's a good question to ask. You kind of just touched on it. Some of the mistakes that people make when they have damage, cleaning up, not taking pictures, are those kind of the two main ones?
Yes. Documentation and timing. Well, the first error on the front end is most people do not read their homeowner's policy. All they're interested in is the premium, how much it's going to cost me, or my coverage is okay, and that's it. And most people don't realize there's actually a list of instructions, very specific, and even getting more specific now with recent legislation changes that are very specific things that need to be done that will disqualify your claim if you don't do them. Example, in this case, if this gal waited just 48 hours to call in that claim, they would have probably denied her. There was a 48-hour time limit. So once you know that you have an issue, if you didn't notify the insurance company, you're disqualified. Second is documentation and photos and video. Everyone has their cell phone, so it's easier now because most people automatically do that. But again, there's some claims out there that are not, they're dirty and people don't want a dirty house. So their natural is let's bleach everything and clean everything up. And that's the wrong answer.
Is there any risk in calling you first?
No, I actually prefer because like I said, in this case, this past weekend, I was there in less than 30 minutes of her calling me. I was on site and there was still water on the floor. So it's from a documentation standpoint, it's preferable.
Sure. Okay. All right. So you've now run and owned two very different businesses. How do you kind of compare the two and your job as a owner? And, what are some of the main differences?
I think there's a lot of similarities from the standpoint that I run the two companies very similarly. And my approach to business in general, especially when it's a transactional business like this, as well as in the investment world, is my feeling, my heart tells me that volume cures a lot of problems. Meaning, if you have a big, massive funnel feeding you, number one, it allows you to do the right thing for clients. Number two, and just as important, it allows you to walk away from business that you don't want. When you have red flags going up, or in the case of the claims business, there's a lot of people out there that are attempting to file claims that are not really claims. So those are the types of things. If the volume is there, it cures a lot of problems because you have the right to say no, and it also gives you the ability to do the right thing. And I think the most dangerous people on the planet in any business are the people that are not making enough money. I mean, they're a liability to themselves and everybody else. So
Interesting. Yeah. The larger the funnel, and especially what you said about walking away, we you really believe there are bad customers out there that you don't want, both from a time standpoint or an honesty standpoint. And so the ability to walk away from that
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
luxury, right?
Yeah. And I think the other thing, my approach has always been doing the things that other people aren't willing to do. In the claims business, I shoot 2 to 3 videos a week, and they're not sales pitches. They're informative, educational. If you own a home or a commercial piece of property, you're going to learn something that triggers a memory that even a year from now, you're going to go, that guy in that video told me to do this, or I'm going to look for him because, and those are the things that don't pay you anything right out of the gate. But boy, if you do them consistently and you do them for any length of time, that's what gives you that organic growth. And those are the things that people aren't willing to do. I mean, it's, so yeah.
So you've established a good solid business down here in South Florida. As you look forward, Carl, what does the future hold for Assurance Claim Services?
Well, I'm lucky enough to have 3 kids, one of which is getting a civil engineering degree right now at University of Florida, and he took it upon himself last year. As a freshman, he called me up in the fall and said, "Hey, I got my independent adjuster's license." He just signed up and took the online course and got the license, and so that was a surprise. So there's some interest in my family to be part of this. And so I have 2 sons, my daughter, and my daughter's getting married, and her fiance also has an adjuster's license. So there's some opportunity for growth here, and it's going to be exciting to see how that unfolds.
Sure. All right. So thinking about other business owners, right? We have other business owners watching, and you've done this twice now successfully. Do you have some advice you would give with either a new business owner or someone who has a secure job but is kind of thinking about taking the leap into business ownership? What's some advice you'd give?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest hesitation is people that in general are risk averse. They don't want to take risk. And as a business owner, even if you're purchasing a business that's already established, you have to get very, very comfortable being uncomfortable. And the quicker you do that, and the quicker you really understand how to recover from a setback or something that didn't work out, but those are the things that give you legs. Those are the things that long term, they become less of a big deal when something fails or something didn't work the way it planned. On to the next thing. And the fact that you recover from that stuff, you just got to keep your feet moving, and keep your expectations in check and keep moving forward. That's the biggest part of it.
And how about personal development, right? So, as business owners, it's important to continue to grow yourself and your knowledge base and whatnot. Are there some things you do to kind of stay on the front end of that?
Yeah, I'm a member of a local BNI group. I'm also friends with folks like you, Matt, that I keep my circle very small. The people that I rely on and people that I trade energy with, and it's very important. I don't want anybody in my circle that's sucking more energy out of me than happens normally on a day-to-day basis. Right. So it's important to surround yourself with people that are like-minded, and add value to your existence versus, drawing. And that doesn't mean that you're not giving back to those folks that are in your circle. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, that it's, when you're in the right company because it feels like there's an equal give and take, and you want to be around those people. And I found that in my world, that's always been a key for my development, whether it's family members, whether it's professional folks. You got to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, no doubt. In all walks of life, right? Not just in business, but just in general.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that old saying about show me your checkbook and show me your calendar, and I'll tell you how successful you're going to be. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely. All right. So we'll leave with one piece of advice for homeowners to mitigate risk for themselves. What's something that most aren't doing besides reading the policy? I didn't read my policy, but now I'm going to. What is something else homeowners can do to protect themselves?
One thing that they can do is actually go to my website, and I'm going to have this is something that we're developing right now, but it's going to have two sides to this thing. Just a postcard that you can actually physically put inside your policy. And it's going to give you two fantastic resources. One, on one side, it's going to give you the resources where you can have a legitimate conversation with insurance agents when you're renewing or buying your homeowner's policy. It's all the questions you need to ask, things that are important that you should have included, things that you would never think of. The reverse side is going to give you a step-by-step what to do, as well as a QR code if you ever have a claim. So you can't make a mistake. All you got to do is go grab your policy, pull that card out, and it'll give you the step-by-step so you don't miss any steps, and it'll give you some additional protection beyond your policy.
That's amazing and a genius idea for a lot of reasons, but one, most importantly, to help people, right?
Yeah.
And in turn, that comes back. Well, look, really interesting stuff, Carl, and great to hear about your journey as a business owner. Thank you so much for participating today, and we wish you and Assurance Claim Services the best in the future.
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, take care.